name's Petra. As usual, I'm here with my lovely daughter Natasha.
Hello!
Together we call ourselves Knit Inc, amongst other things. And I totally blitzed. I have no idea what episode it is.
Oh my god.
High 20s. 28, 29.
28 or 29?
Obviously we're not professional podcasters and
no, not at all.
We're a little out of practice. I think it's well over a month since we filmed.
It was early April.
Oh, so maybe it's only a month
I think it's about a month. It's episode 29.
Oh, episode 29. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. Okay. So welcome to episode 29. This is our little YouTube channel where we talk about knitting, yarn, or fibery, creative kind of things. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, and it is Mother's Day weekend here in the US. It is Saturday, May 7th,
May 7th.
2022. So yeah, we had our England trip. Thank you everyone for your thoughts. That was really sweet of you. Meant a lot. It was an emotional trip, but it was a good trip. It was nice to see family, and it was a bit of a whirlwind, but we ate a lot of good takeaway food. We had Indian takeaway. We went out to eat at a Turkish restaurant, an Italian restaurant. We had Chinese takeaway.
Yeah, did we have any English food?
Well, we had the tea sandwiches and like traditional like scones with clotted cream and jam at the reception.
Oh yes.
We didn't have fish and chips.
No, we did not. I stayed a week longer, and I didn't have. Oh, I did have. I didn't have fish and chips. Oh, I just had fish. Sorry, with my mom. She has a group of friends, and they were getting. One evening, they got takeout from a local fish and chip shop, which also is a Chinese actually, and I did have a huge piece of fish without the chips.
So we ate well.
We ate well. That's right. We did.
And yeah, you went up to the Lake Districts for a week after with your mom and sister and co.
And my two naughty nephews. No, they're actually incredibly sweet.
Yeah. I went up to Port, so that was England. Did you want to talk about anything else now about England, or sprinkle anything that comes up?
I did go to one yarn store in Kendal, which is a lovely town in the Lake District in England. The first yarn store is called The Kitten and the Goat. I thought that was such a great name.
That's cute.
It was actually closed.
Oh.
So I just peeked in the window. And then I went to Cool Crafting, which was recommended by a couple of you lovely viewers. And one of you had said that it's the home of Luna Lapin. This is the bag.
Oh, okay.
And I must admit, I had no idea what Luna Lapin was.
Yeah, I don't know what that
And
is.
so I was talking to the store owner, and I said, does Luna Lapin mean anything to you? And she said, oh my God, yes, the owner who designed Luna Lapin that owns this yarn shop, and Luna Lapin is a rabbit that is known the whole world over. I had no idea, and I had missed the corner of the shop that has these rabbits. But so this is a very interesting shop. It has a pretty interesting wool collection. It also sells fabric, hence Cool Crafting. It had the most beautiful Liberty Lawn fabric, which is so gorgeous to the touch. These beautiful prints that people use for making quilts, curtains, dresses, anything. I was very tempted to buy some, but I didn't. And I did buy just a little bit of yarn. I was a little bit overwhelmed. They had John Arbon, there's some Shetland wool. They had a lot of wool that's called, the company called Rico, that I'd heard people talk about but never seen before. But anyway, so I got a little flyer. This is one of the rabbits. So
looks
there's
like
a whole
like a bear.
series. I guess it does look.
This looks more like a
You know
bear
what?
than a rabbit.
That might actually not be the rabbit. So they do other
Like child toys.
So you basically can buy the kit to make these, and also all sorts of wardrobe. So they use the Liberty Lawn fabric to make clothing for these stuffed animals.
Cute.
Yeah, so that was a fun experience. Yeah.
Cool. Part of the delay in us recording too is my husband had COVID. He's okay. It went through him pretty quickly, but we were isolating for about a week. And that was one of the weekends that we were going to potentially record. So it got pushed off. But then we did manage, John and I went up with a couple friends to Portland, Maine, which if you are in the New England area and you haven't been, highly recommend. I've probably gone about half a dozen times or so. It's about 2 hours north of Boston. Beautiful city, pretty small, but full of delicious restaurants and cocktail bars and stuff. And, you know, lots of good seafood and a couple yarn stores that I visited. So I will talk about what I got at those yarn stores at the end.
In acquisitions?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's it pretty much for travel.
Yeah.
In the last month, yeah.
So Mom.
Yes.
What are you wearing?
Well, I am wearing the cykeltur, which means bicyclist. Thank you all very much. By tricosa. And the yarn is a Gotland yarn from Sweden that I got from Kia. Unfortunately, I didn't save a label, which makes me really sad because I have one whole 100-gram skein that I'd caked up left over. So this sweater in my size, and I think I may have knitted the second size, only used 400 grams of the yarn. I have this much left over, and here is Kia's logo, and if you go on her website, she sells this yarn. So I got a lot of compliments on the sweater, including from non-knitters. They particularly like the collar. There's some great details. It's naturally it's 2-ply. It's the natural color. It's not dyed at all.
Very silvery.
Just love this gray. It's really light. I'm just gonna stand up. I've been wearing it a lot. It's been a very chilly spring here.
Very cold.
So I finished it in England, and my lovely mother wove in all the ends.
Oh.
I love it when she does that because
Can we send her packages to weave in ends?
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? So yeah, it's got nice little detail.
The hem is really nice.
It's a broken rib hem. It's got these little cuffs that turn up. I made the sleeves a little long, and then the saddle shoulder, really cool collar. You can add these ties to make it kind of stand up and be at some interesting angles. I have made the ties. I just haven't, put them on. Attach them. So you could potentially wear it like this. Tricosa styles her sweaters really wonderfully, I think.
Yeah.
The ties don't look like much, but there's a link in the patterns to tutorials. So this is
I was like, you were holding this up, and I was like, it looks like you're just holding up a piece of yarn.
So it's not finger knitting, it's not I-cord, but it's a interesting technique. You do make it with your fingers. So I am going to do that. I am going to attach them, yeah, 2 on each side, and then that just gives you more flexibility on how to wear it. So
very interesting.
I am really happy with this sweater.
That's great.
And my mom said she liked it. I think I might send her some yarn so she can knit herself a sweater. And maybe she can use this one extra, or I can make mittens or a hat with it maybe.
Yeah.
So I think that this yarn may come in black too. I'll have to check. If it does, I would love.
You're gonna get more.
I'm gonna get more. It's just light and warm, and yeah. So this is my one and only FO, even though it's been a whole month.
I hear
It's been that kind of month. So what about you, Natasha? I just realized you're wearing something that you've worn before.
Yeah, I don't have a
new sweater,
a new finished sweater, so I'm wearing an oldie but a goodie. This is my Ravello, and I knit this in March of 2020. I just looked it up. I cast it on like March 12th or 13th, and I feel like I was like, I'm gonna work on this during my 2 weeks I had to stay home.
This was beginning of lockdown.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But it took about a month to make. It was with Shibui knit staccato. It's held up pretty well. There's like a tiny bit of pilling. But I haven't worn it yet I wore it when we were in Portland actually. It's more like a spring or early fall, even like summer evening knit. So I haven't been wearing it during the winter. So yeah, the pattern has you do, I think the pattern actually just has the stripes in the yoke part, and then on the sleeves, like how I have it here, but I did another, I saw someone I had an inspiration photo. I did it like asymmetrical striping on my sleeves.
I like that.
So that was kind of fun. You can play with the stripes as you want with this pattern.
And also, if you need to be playing on chicken or something, then you can really just use up pieces.
Oh,
That's
totally.
what I like about that. If you don't have a sweater's quantity. And I made one of these for Anna.
Yeah, and she wears it quite frequently.
She does, yeah. I need to make myself one now.
Yeah. So you said you have no other FOs, right?
No.
Well, let me quickly talk about these flowers.
Okay.
I had mentioned them last time. I had made some flowers for Anna's 30th birthday floral extravaganza. And I actually haven't made project pages, but I will do that before we post this. So I used two patterns. One is the Poppy Flower by Linda Dawkins, and I made 3 of those. The first one I made, somehow I only ended up with 3 petals.
Oh.
So I used I think this was one of these was, and then one of these was a free pattern, one of these was paid for, because this was the other type of flower. I can't remember if I paid for this one or not, so I will try not to give too many details away. But it was super easy to follow. It was on not tiny needles, I think maybe 6s and 8s. I just used scraps. And these are just like total scrap yarn, so I can't remember what they all are. And I used a pipe cleaner in here and did an I-cord with a pipe cleaner. So it's still flimsy, but if you put it, you can bend it, you know? So if you put it in a vase, you know, and then have it bend, it does keep its bend, you can see there.
I wonder if you could thread some wire in here.
Yeah, I mean,
that might help.
Once it's in it, it's like flopping now, but when they're in a vase, it's fine.
Vase.
When they're in the vase. Yeah, so
cute.
And then
little knitted bouquet. And you were inspired by the knitted bouquets for the Olympics, weren't you?
Yes, I was actually. Then the other pattern I did was this flower calla lily, and this is by Kathy Wren. And I actually made 3 of these, but I really didn't like how the other 2 came out. They were a little
gonadic.
Yeah, I think yonic is the
yonic.
word.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think it's a color choice here for these, for having them how they work out.
But it does in some ways looks a bit like a calla lily. When I first glanced it does look like a calla lily.
Yeah. So, you know, these ones are a little more fiddly, but super quick. I think the I-cord stems took longer than the flowers in most cases.
Imagine. You know what I'm thinking? They'd be nice actually as a pin to accessorize. Like this.
That could be cute.
Right, on a plain sweater.
Yeah, so Anna just dropped these off quickly while she was going to go run some errands, but I'll have to ask her if she keeps these on display or what.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my FO, but it's kind of from last time, but I wanted to show you guys.
Nice.
So so now we have whips, and I have 3 whips to talk about.
I have 3 whips too, and then I have my future cast on.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, why don't you start?
Okay, so maybe I will just start with what I'm working on now, and I'm just finishing a row. So I watched Kia's podcast this morning, and she made me laugh because in it she said, I'm a professional knitter. She held up a project. She said, I'm a professional podcaster. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a row. And I just so resonated with me so much. Yeah. Anyway, so I am making the Vertices Unite by Stephen West. It's a pattern that I wanted to make for a long time because I like the modular knitting and playing around with colors and the freeformness of it. And there's been a lot going on in the last month, and I just needed some calm, meditative knitting, and this is fitting the bill. And I'm using the Holst Supersoft mixed with the alpaca, and I'm just on section 4 now. So
how many sections are there?
you know what, I can't remember. I'll look it up though, if it's about 6 or 7. I haven't made a project page yet, but I will. And I'm using some holst supersoft that I had left over from the shawl that's up there.
I feel like this whole supersoft just keeps on giving.
It really does keep on giving. And then I'm using some of the cones that we ordered last time, and I did pre-wash all the cones. So let's see, I'm looking up the pattern. Yeah, there's 7 sections.
Oh, okay.
And I'm on the 4th section.
Nice. You're whipping through it.
Yeah, and then there's an I-cord. In true Stephen West style, there's a big I-cord binding along off, to finish it off. Well, actually, this one didn't have one, but the binder.
It had an I-cord on the end, yeah.
Which took a long time. So let's see. This is the alpaca that I'm holding. I'm holding holst supersoft single with 1 strand of alpaca, and this is the first color that I used, which is opal, I think. That's in the shawl, and then we had ordered a cone of almond that I'm using as well. I'll just put a project page up so you can see.
Yeah, you're just using
colors. I'm just using what comes to mind.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing it exactly the same size, but I'm just following the premise. Once you basically make the center parallelogram, you can kind of make that any size you want, and then everything else builds off that. So and it's all just garter, striping, marling. What I'm marling.
Nice.
So so this is my just super easy meditative knit. And actually I only started this 3 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun. How about you?
I too am doing have a simple knit that I'm working on at the moment.
And hold that up again.
They're very...
They go really well together.
It's funny. So I think this was in the summer of 2020. I went to the 3rd piece, and they were having like a closing sale. They still have an online shop, but this was a yarn shop when I lived in the south end of Boston. That was like 2 blocks from my apartment. And I bought 6 skeins of this. It's LRA Cashmerino Sport Speckled. And it's super soft. It's 55% merino, 33% acrylic, 12% cashmere. And I thought this would make a nice like kind of lap blanket. I bought 6 skeins, and I have since bought 3.5 more. Because I realized it was going to be too small with just 6. Because I think, so the pattern I'm doing is the no purl ribbed blanket by Purl Soho.
Oh, is that a free pattern?
It's a free pattern. And I'm doing size 4 needles, and I probably could have done size 5. It's kind of dense. But I realized after I did 1 ball, you can see here where my ends are. 1 ball was about 3 inches. And I was like, 18 inches is not going to be big enough for like a lap blanket. So
how many stitches did you cast on?
255.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so 18. Okay.
255. So I looked on Ravelry, and the color I have is Rose Bouquet. And it's, let me back up. I was also like, I looked at that yarn in like sweaters and stuff, and I didn't love how this yarn kind of pooled for sweaters. I thought it would work best for a blanket because it would just kind of make these sort of fading stripes.
Yes.
But it is so speckled, you can see. I thought it would just look a little messy as a sweater or a garment.
I think you're right.
So I felt like it was destined for a blanket, and I actually saw a moth in my apartment and freaked out. I haven't seen one since, but I bought a ton of cedar blocks and like some bags, and like took care of everything. I haven't seen one since. I saw it before England. So I was organizing some yarn, zipping it up to be safe, and like these plastic things I got. And I was like, you know what? I need to use this. It was an easy project that I could just cast on and have ready to go and use a bunch of stash. So anyway, when I did 3 inches and was like, ugh, 18 inches isn't gonna be enough, I needed to buy more yarn. So I looked on Ravelry and I found one person that had used some in a project and it said they had a skein and a half left. I messaged her and she actually messaged me back this morning. She's gonna send me some, that skein and a half left that she has. And then I also ordered 2 skeins from a shop called Yarnia that is in New Jersey. So I'm gonna have 3 dye lots, but I think that's fine. I've done 2 from the original purchase. The skein I'm using now is one of the skeins from Yarnia. So I'll just mix in, and you can't even, they're slightly different, but it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it because it's just like an easy blanket. So pattern's easy to work on, and I'm happy to be using stash, even though I bought yarn, but I'll use all of it up. That's kind of a nice thing about a blanket is like you can, shorten, a couple inches here and there if needed, to use up your yarn.
To use up everything. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of motivating to get through the skein. These are small.
50 grams.
Yeah. So it's like, ooh, I want to get to the next kind of stripe, or I want to get to my next ball. So I'm on the 3rd one and I will have 9.5. So
about a third way.
I'm almost a third of the way.
And it's a really nice spring colors. Actually.
Yeah, they are actually.
Kind of crocusy, irisy colors.
Yeah.
So have you noticed a difference in the dye lots, these 2, or not really?
So this,
not holding them up, I can't
really
see.
Not that much. These are 2 different dye lots. And honestly, I think they're pretty close. There's like a little bit more of some yellow bits in this one than this one, but they're pretty damn close. Dye lot 10 and dye lot 20. So we'll see what dye lot comes from my Ravelry friend.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think she's in Connecticut, so she's in between the 2. I wonder if it'll be dye lot 15. Huh. Okay.
Interesting.
What else do you have on your needles?
I have the Crazy Tea sweater, which is also knitted in holst supersoft.
And in this still this pinky purple theme.
Yes. So I think I talked about starting this last time, and I had...
Sorry, I'm just gonna open this. It might be a little loud.
Okay, can cut that out. So I think I was talking about this last time. This was my travel knitting. I'm gonna say that again, in case we want to cut that out. So I think in our last podcast, I had talked about this. It was going to be my travel knitting. So I wound off a bunch of yarn from our cones, and I pre-washed it all. And I finished the body on the trip.
Wow, look how cool this looks.
Yeah. And I'm just holding the holst supersoft singly. I already have one strand.
Yeah.
I already have a sweater that I made with holst supersoft 1 strand, and I love the weight of that. So, and this is my second crazy stripe tee.
Yeah, you wore your first one last episode.
That's right, and I had used Noro yarn.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I can't remember the name of the designer. So the proper name is Crazy Stripes Tee, and it is by, it doesn't say, Atelier.
Anne Lermont.
Anne Lamont, but she has a different name, and a different designer name, which is Atelier, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, here's the pattern, Crazy Stripes Tee. It's an old pattern from 2015 or something, and there's a few thousand variations of it. It's just
it's very customizable with how many colors you want to use, how contrasting you want to go.
Yeah.
And it's fingering weight, right?
It's fingering weight, yes. And the body goes so quickly because it's done with short rows once you separate for the
long
sleeves. Yeah, it is quite long, and maybe my gauge was off a little bit, so you need to sort of decide on the length up here because you're knitting on the bias,
right?
And it's yeah, it's a super fun knit, and I'm happy with it being quite long. I know you don't really wear long sweaters, but I quite like wearing long sweaters with leggings and skinny jeans and so forth.
Yeah.
And so now I'm on the first sleeve. So the pattern is short sleeves, but I'm going to make mine long. And I'm basically just sort of trying to match the stripes on the body.
Nice.
And then the second sleeve is going to have much narrower stripes because I'm going to try to match this side. So that's kind of fun. So I use predominantly 2 colors and then this pop. I was going to add a stripe, a darker stripe here, but I actually forgot at the time. So the color this pink one is called Sweet Pea. It's the same color that you used your you made your
my
sweater.
lounge sweater.
And we might be almost all the way through the cone.
Wow.
Which, although probably not, I still have a big one there. And then the dark color is called Jasper, and the intermediate color is called Damask.
Nice.
Yeah, so
I have a question. Are you going to do something around the neck here?
yes, yeah. The neck is for my first version, I basically picked up and did a rib and pulled it in. So I think I'm definitely going to do a neckband, and I think I'm going to do it in this in the damask in this color.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
So, and for the hem, you're supposed to pick up and do a really narrow rib, but I don't think I will because I don't want a rib of a solid color. I feel like it'll interfere with the flow of these stripes.
Yeah.
And in my other one, I did an I-cord edge, actually.
I don't think you need anything.
It rolls. I don't think I'm going to do a hem. No, I
don't think you need to.
Um,
It's long enough already. It doesn't look raw.
But do you know what I mean about having one color on the hem?
Yeah.
It kind of...
I think you keep it how it is.
Yeah. So I stopped working on this.
Because you cast this on?
Yeah. But I could finish this. Oh, and also another thing I want to say is now I'm using DPNs for sleeves.
Interesting.
After using magic loop and shorties, I don't enjoy magic looping sleeves anymore.
I find magic looping sleeves to be really tough.
Yeah.
I like it when I have a short enough cord and my shorty needles to do it.
Yeah.
But I find the magic loop to be very slow going. And
So do I now
I get
for
very
sleeves.
worried about having like a stretch mark, you know, like a ladder. And even though I like kind of not do it, the magic loop at the same time or at the same spot, but I'm really not a magic loop fan.
Well, I do use magic loop for socks.
Right.
I do have a little bit of laddering here from the DPN. I don't think it's, maybe you can see right here. But I do change my, so I'm decreasing, of course. And I do change the number of stitches I have on the DPN so that it's not at the same place all the time and trying to pay attention.
Yeah.
Now I've got stitches coming off all over the place. But the reason I use DPNs is because I didn't have shorty needles in the size I needed.
Oh.
This is US size 4 that I'm knitting this sweater in. But yeah, I was enjoying the DPNing. So I will pick this back up because this time of year in New England, this would be the
DPN
perfect.
went flying.
Oh, thank you. It would be, this is perfect
Yeah.
weather to be wearing this now, really. So yeah, there's another whole super soft project.
You know, it's great that we're using those cones. I saw they had another sale and I was looking at all these like greens and blues.
Oh yes.
And was really tempted, but I was like, let's wait. Let's work through this color experience of the pinks and purples, and then we can order another color palette for the next round. Because it is nice to have the color changing, you know, color options.
Options like a palette that you can play with.
Yeah, I think that's important when you buy such large quantities that you can either make something on its own or you can mix and match with all of them.
Yeah.
It would have been not so nice if we got like, you know, very contrasting colors that might have made one really cool garment.
Yeah.
But you have more flexibility this way, and they go really nicely.
And I'm honestly loving having this palette with the, and so it's thanks to one of you that I ordered this alpaca to go with it because the options really are pretty wide
Yeah.
in terms of,
I think they have like at least 50 colors.
But I mean, even how to use the what we've got. You can hold it single, you can hold it double, you can marl it. That's what I'm doing in the blanket. You can hold the same color, but you can also hold a different color. So I'm just loving that. And then one of you told me about woolly knits, and they sell cones in England. I haven't talked to you about this.
Yeah, this is new.
It's sort of similar to the whole supersoft. You can buy cones.
Okay.
And it's very affordable, but expensive shipping. I found out about it too late to have cones shipped to England, which is probably a good thing. But once we've gone through these, that's another option.
Yeah.
They have it's woolly wool, Okay. So what about you, Natasha?
Okay, so my next whip is my Judd pullover, and I finished the, I think this is the front.
Oh, or the back, doesn't really matter, right?
I think this is the front. You can see a little dip there for the neck. So this is a...
You know what? It's the same color palette as what you're wearing.
I guess we like what we like, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's exact.
Did you realize that?
No. I love burgundy. I love this teal.
It's exactly the same.
It's literally the exact same.
But you know what's funny is I bought the yarn for you.
But you bought a bunch of different colors.
I did.
There was a blue and a red and a purple, and I picked these ones.
That's right.
Oh my God, this is so funny. But completely different project.
Yes.
It's fine.
And different kind of yarn.
Yeah. Okay, so Judd Pullover by Alexis Winslow. So I cast this on March 27th, so actually it hasn't been that crazy long. I thought this has been on my needles a lot longer. So it's intarsia. This is not good for knitting on the go or going anywhere, but it isn't too complicated. There's charts and count for the color quantity sections as you go along.
Oh, that's right.
I found that focusing on the numbers for the number of stitches per color in each row was a lot easier than doing the chart, just because you can easily get lost. So it's nice that the pattern has the flexibility. It's a really well-written pattern. There's, I think, a blank schematic where you can color in if you like. And I am, to kind of predict what you want. So I am on, I guess, the back. And... Oh, I haven't been talking about what size needles. Okay, these are size 7. So I think I'm about 2/3 of the way there. And then, so I am going to run out of the white. I haven't switched over to my second skein yet. I just have this left.
Okay.
And the pattern would have me do my collar and both sleeves solid white. But I'm not gonna have enough for that. I definitely want my collar to be white. So what I'm gonna do is, I think I will seam I'll block my front and back and pray that the color doesn't bleed into the white. I'll probably
use a color catcher
or two, and seam them together because it is a kind of a drop shoulder.
Yeah.
So then do my collar in the white, and then split my white, split it in half, and figure out how I'm gonna color block my sleeves. So it will be an asymmetrical sleeve situation too. Oh man,
that is funny.
So funny.
It's great.
But it's a different style. This is actually going to be a bit longer than I'm used to.
And this is really light. We talked
so
about
light.
it last time.
This is
this
weighs
yarn
nothing.
is really gorgeous.
Oh, I should say what kind of yarn it is. It's the Fiber Co. Cirro. I think it's Cirro, not Kiro. It's Cirro. And I ordered this online at Firefly Fibers in Wisconsin. And yeah, so I'm motivated. I think I'm gonna work on this tonight.
Okay.
And finish one side and
figure out the sleeves.
Yeah, it'll be kind of fun. I have a 4th color that's a light teal, but I don't think I want to introduce a 4th color. I think I can get away with just using these 3. I have one more skein of this dark teal, but only one of this. So if I need to I'll just use what I have.
Figure it out. It is great to use. So when you bought this yarn, what were you thinking?
I was gonna do the spotted sweater, but
that's right. You
but
talked about that
I think
last
that sweater you want to use a bunch of different like scraps from things. So
Yes.
I'm just gonna hold on for that.
Okay.
And I wasn't quite ready for something as complicated as that. So this it has enough complication for like some interest, rather than like just stockinette or whatever, but not so complicated that at the end of a long day, I feel like I can't pick it up kind of thing.
That's nice.
So, and I've been using the that hand solve that you gave me.
Oh.
The Lola.
It's not Lola Bean. It's
Lola Bar.
Lola Bar. Yeah.
I think, and it smells really nice.
Do you remember what scent it was?
I don't, but because I have it in like a reusable tin, so I don't have like the tin it came in. But
that's okay.
Okay, another whip for you.
My other project is a project for one of the local babies, and it's another acid tricosa design. I got excited about it as soon as it popped into my email. I get newsletters from acid tricosa.
Oh, nice.
And so the name of the sweater is going to be tough for me to...
Shoot, I wasn't on top of our lettering today.
This would be a good one for next time because it's stjerneskud. I'm just going to show it to you.
Yeah, and I'll put it below.
Perhaps one of you lovely viewers can send a note and let us know what that means. I think that Assa is originally from Belgium. I hesitate to say when I'm not 100% sure, but if I've got that wrong, I'm sure one of you will correct me. So anyway, so it's a pattern, it's a ziggurat pattern for a baby cardigan, and I did buy the yarn in that shop, Cool Crafting in Kendal, and it's Rico Baby. So I think I mentioned earlier on, they had a lot of Rico yarn.
I've never heard of Rico yarn.
The Bakery Bears talked about it.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like
it's an English company?
I don't think it is English. I think it's German. I'm trying to figure it out. So on the label, it doesn't, the GmbH is usually German Rico designs. Yeah. It doesn't say where the yarn is made, and I think when it's made in the EU, you don't have to say where it's made, or they've got some different rules in the EU.
Well, the first language on here that says keep the packaging is in German. It goes German, then English, then French, something else, and then something else. I can't recognize
and
those two.
I haven't looked it up. But so I wanted to try it. It does have some acrylic in it. It's not. Can you read what the
38% acrylic, 17% viscose, and 45% polyamide. It's super soft.
It's really soft, and I thought, you know what,
the tweed is cute.
Yeah, for a mom who it can be just put in the washing machine.
Yeah.
Really easy care. It's really soft, and I wanted to try out this pattern. It's just going to be an open cardigan, and you do the contiguous sleeves. You know, how clever is that?
It looks very well structured.
They look beautifully set in. That's what I love about acid tricosa's patterns. Just like this is a saddle shoulder version.
Right, just well fitting.
Yeah, and the nice little details. And there's going to be some interesting things going on with the sleeve. And I am magic looping this because I didn't have the right DPNs or something.
Oh, you know what? I ordered a set of small DPNs. I should have brought them for you.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's size like 0 to 4 or
and
something.
They're short?
And they're 5 inches.
Oh, okay.
Because I needed them for, I think, did I order them for when I was doing those flowers? I don't know. I forget why I ordered them, but I ordered them.
So I've ordered a set of shorties too from our local yarn store, Driftwood Yarns, the liquor shorties.
Yeah.
But they haven't come in yet. I bought them for you for Christmas.
I use those all the time. Yeah, I love those.
So yeah.
I'm definitely a wooden needle fan.
I think me too. So anyway, so I'm on the sleeves, and
Very cute.
Yeah.
It's nice that it's open. That's easy to put on and off.
And there's not going to be any buttons or anything.
Yeah.
It's just going to be an extra. And this is the smallest size. But I'm out of practice with sizes of babies. But I think this would be for maybe like a 6-month baby or something like that.
Nice.
So yeah, so this is for one of the local babies. And this should have been an FO. But again, I got distracted.
I know, I hear you.
And those are all my active knitting. I did do a little bit of finish it Friday, and I cast off the first sleeve on the cipeler.
Oh, okay.
That I talked about last time, and I'm at the point now where I need to get the second sleeve on the needles, and I think I haven't made enough progress because I've been away or busy on Fridays or just not in the right place to start the second sleeve, but that is still, it's on my radar.
Nice.
So those are all my active knits. The only thing I want to talk about is when I'm planning to make my first spring sweater. I figured out what yarn and what pattern, and I am going to use Old Stash.
Nice. I have one more whip, but it'll be quick.
Okay, you go then.
Okay, so this is one of the yarn shops I went to, but this Knitwit in Portland, Maine, but this is, I bought this bag I think in 2019. They have moved locations, but coincidence. I actually love this size bag.
It is a nice bag, and it zips. It's simple.
Yeah. So this is my Birch pullover that I talked about quite a few times. But I have split for the sleeves.
Woo!
So I put a stitch marker last time.
Oh, nice.
Where we were. It's right here. So it maybe like 3 inches.
This is really dense. This is going to be such a warm sweater.
It's not in my active rotation, but what I'm going to do now is move the stitch marker and try and get a couple more inches again before we record. I might not talk about it again for a little bit until I make some more significant progress.
Okay.
I do like it, but right now this is going to be like a fall winter sweater.
Yeah.
So the motivation to work on it, even though it's been a really cold spring here, the motivation to work on it is starting to wane. Yeah. So I still like it. It's funny. I wouldn't call myself specifically a process or product knitter. I think I vary. This is definitely the product knitting project. I just can't wait to wear this. I'm not enjoying the knit of it as much, but I am happy that I split for the sleeves. It's still a ton of stitches on the size 2s, but it's going. So I'll try and get a couple more inches on just to get there for the next recording, just to have something on it and just keep going on it.
Just keep going, and it'll be ready for the autumn.
Yeah, I know it's an Andrea Mowry pattern. I know she's doing like a March to May knit along, but
that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I'm not going to force myself to do it. That's the nice thing. This is a hobby.
That's
right. If you don't want to work on something, that's okay.
Yep.
I will come back to it when I want to, but I had to mention it.
Yes.
So that's it.
Which, talking about coming, I have almost finished Anna's tulip.
Oh yeah, that's over here near me actually.
All I have to do is the cuff of the second sleeve. But again,
I'll just show a peek, and you can talk about it next time.
I really will need to finish that. I can't sit around. I mean, it's way too warm now for her to be wearing it. That'll be a next winter sweater. And then I've got these Newton plates, and they're gonna have to wait for the fall now because I'm definitely transitioning to summer. I'm not gonna be starting any woolly sweaters now until the fall, I don't think.
Yeah, it is nice to have that change. And, it motivates you because you want to wear it and all of that. And
so next time, I think it'll be all about the spring summer knits.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about that that project or show the yarn that you're going to be casting on?
Oh yes.
To have I don't know, your like 28th whip.
Don't mention all those old whips. I'm giving myself a break. Okay, so the yarn I'm going to use, I caked up one skein.
Oh, it looks like a fun cake.
And it's from relatively deep stash, Juniper Moon Cumulus.
This is kind of like chain.
Yeah, it is. It's
very soft.
And it's Israeli Mako cotton and a touch of nylon for strength. It's 97% cotton. It's
Interesting. This is very
worsted
soft.
weight. I've got 4 100-gram skeins.
Okay.
And I found, I think, the perfect pattern
Okay.
called Jewels. It's similar to you're knitting a Judd, but the pattern is called Jewels.
This is incredibly soft.
Yeah, Jewels by Julie Hoover. And I'm going to show you the picture.
So it's like a t-shirt.
Yeah, it's
a long sleeve.
Well, it's
long,
like an
long
elbows. What I like about this is that I can make the sleeves down to here. I'm at that stage of life where I don't wear sleeveless things anymore, and there's so many beautiful tank top patterns. So this one, it's drop shoulder and the sleeves are going to come down. Yeah.
Can you see there's like some cables on either side of the back there?
And I like the fact that it's an uneven hem and a little bit of cable interest. I also don't like patterns where they have something slap bang in the middle, because I feel like it draws attention to my belly. I like to have something along the side.
And this pattern uses this yarn.
Yeah.
So that's always kind of fun when that happens.
It
doesn't always happen, right?
No. And it's in English and French. So Julie Hoover. I feel like I've made things by Julie Hoover before.
Cool.
So, but I'm not casting that on until I've finished some of these active.
I think
definitely
the
tulip, the crazy tea.
Then you deserve a cast on.
Yeah. And so that's it for my knitting. And then I have one acquisition from an English thrift store.
Okay, I'll go with some of my acquisitions. So, like I said, I was in Portland, Maine a couple weekends ago, and I went to
some goodies. I have not seen any of this.
I went to Port Fiber. It was the first time I've gone to Port Fiber.
I love Casey.
Hi,
I've
Casey,
never
for
met
watching.
her.
I know we've met on her crafternoons. She does a Sunday crafternoon. I think she is going to be taking a summer break. But follow Port Fiber if you want to hang out on Sunday afternoons. So really nice shop. She had a lot of just really high quality yarn. There was piece fleece there was spin cycle, there was some really nice fiber for spinning. So I got these 2 skeins of spin cycle. It was really tough.
I love those colors.
I knew you would. I couldn't decide on I know, it just goes with the whole situation. These don't have an assignment yet, so if you end up wanting to use these,
is the spin cut? Did you say? Oh, spin cycle.
Yeah. So this will be for something special. I'm not sure what yet. And then I got you a skein of something, but you'll have to open it tomorrow.
Okay.
And I got some soak from Port Fiber as well, because I was running low on my wool wash.
Wow, I love these colors.
I know. There are so many nice colors. Then I also went to Knitwit and I got this bag with my purchase this time.
Oh, okay.
And they had a really nice selection as well. There was a lot of Quince & Co.
So did you buy the bag or do you?
No, this just came with my purchase.
Oh, that's really lovely.
Which was really nice.
I got a bag like that from Kia and I'm using it for my...
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Then you just have a project bag ready to go.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of Quince at Knitwit and I just somehow, that's what I bought.
But I love Quince yarn.
I was drawn to this cotton for some reason. I think that I have a friend who's due with a baby girl in either July or August. And I might make something for her with that or mix or something like that. But I don't have any cotton in my stash. And I figured leading up to summer, it's really soft. And I just like the colors. It's worsted weight, so whatever
this is
it
like
was
a sea foam.
it would go quickly. And then
and these actually, they go beautifully together.
Then I also got this, Quince & Co.
Burgundy surprise.
Yeah. This is Aran weight, I think.
Osprey, okay.
Yeah, and I just, I don't know, maybe some hats or something, but I also just really liked this color and
American wool.
Having some options, just something that I didn't have in my stash. I have so much like fingering and stuff, so I wanted something different.
The colorway is maple.
Huh, it looks a little more...
No, like the red maple.
Oh, it does look like the red maple leaves.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah. So those are my acquisitions.
Very nice. Excuse me. Very nice,
Portland,
Natasha.
Maine.
I'm going to have to think of something for this.
my pride and joy, my only spin cycle I've ever.
I've never.
My friend Julia has shown me her spin cycle, but I've never like seen it in person. Besides that, so it was nice to see all these colors, and it's a very special yarn.
Yeah, I have seen spin cycle in person before. I think Elizabeth had some. Somebody had. She doesn't carry it. This is Elizabeth in my local yarn store, Driftwood Yarns.
It is expensive, you know. I think you know these skeins are they're 200 yards, and I think they're like
I don't even want to know how much they are.
Yeah, they're expensive, but you know, something special.
Something special.
I wouldn't be able to make a full sweater out of just spin cycle.
It's just far
it's
too
too much. But you know, maybe in a yoke or maybe for a smaller project.
Or you could figure out,
I'll buy 2 more skeins in another 2 years, and then
Yes.
2 more skeins, and eventually I will have enough for a sweater.
I'm just thinking that how you could use it with some plainer, more affordable yarn,
and then it stands out, right?
as a yoke or something. Yeah, because there's so many gorgeous colors in there that I know I'm trying to imagine what you would do with it.
Anyway, do you want to talk about what you got?
Yes, so one of the things I love about going to visit my mom, she lives on the Wirral in England, a smallish town called Heswell, is going to all the thrift stores. There's 7 in her town.
What?
And so that's something that we do together. And this time, one of the stores had these cakes. You wait till I show you this.
Cake is generous.
I mean cone. I weighed it, and it's 1.1 kilograms because of the cone in here. This is a kilogram of yarn. They had 2 of these, and they had a blue one, and I only bought this one. And my mother, who's usually trying to prevent me from buying stuff, says, maybe you should buy it all. And it was me who restrained myself.
This is heavy.
Well, it's a kilogram. So what it is, it's very fine.
We looked it up. It's
Italian.
It's Italian, yeah. It's not mohair.
No, there's 30% mohair.
It's 30% mohair.
Let me find a strand. It's incredibly fine. It's 30% mohair, and the rest is 2 different kinds of nylon. So I was a little bit disappointed. This one has no label, but there was a blue one, and it had a label inside, and we Googled it.
You took a picture of it.
I took a picture, yeah. So it's an Italian company. It's 30% mohair, and the rest is nylon. It actually breaks very easily.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, this can be held with everything, right? But then there was a pattern that came out recently on Ravelry for a sweater just knit in single mohair. It's got a lace weight bottom. It's not that different to tenure, but it's just knit in something like this. And I thought, wow, it might be nice to make a top just out of this, like a summer top. But anyway, it was £5.
Wow.
Which is about $7 US. So I had to take an extra bag from my mom to come back because of this and a pair of amazing leather Italian hiking boots I bought.
Nice.
Yeah. So that and the little Rico babies on my little Rico baby yarn were my acquisitions.
Cool.
So I think that's it.
I think that is it.
No other yarny. Oh, you forgot to say in England all the yarn bombing we saw of the post boxes.
I'll insert some photos. We saw one on our walk together. It was kind of on the top of the red post box. Cute little spring display, and you saw 2 others when you walked the next day when I wasn't with you. Yeah, so those are fun. I'll put those photos in.
And it was Easter time, and one of them was a whole Easter sort of display crocheted on top of a English post box, the red pillar post boxes that they have.
Yeah,
in one particular really neighborhood. Cute. So that was really fun. Yeah. And my mom is knitting a sweater. She's on the sleeves. And my sister's husband's mom came, we had lunch together, and she was knitting she was wearing a cardigan that she had knitted.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there's some other yarny things. So I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see you again in May.
Yes. Hope you are all keeping well. Hope that your hobbies are bringing you joy, and keep well and keep safe.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.